some machines are inherently more dangerous than most. If you get pinned under a regular bench press, you can't lift anymore. You can shimmy it out. If you get pinned under a Smith machine, what the hell are you supposed to do about it? I got pinned under a Smith machine once when I was like 16, and it took me like 30 seconds to slide my way out. And I remember, Scott, my t-shirt was hanging down to my knees after that because I had just stretched the whole thing out. People think Smith machines are safer, and they're not. They're actually more dangerous because it will staple that ass. Where the hell are you going to go? People are like, we'll just rack on the hooks. What if you miss the hooks? They're like, we'll just rack on them. You can't. You're not strong enough anymore. Like, it's a really, really bad deal. Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for RP Strength, and I want to tell you about a terror that is threatening our school children. 5 of the most dangerous gym machines have been released from a secret government military testing compound. They are right now on your very streets in your very hometown, devastating everything in their path, and they're looking for young people first. How do you identify these terrible machines and either avoid them or, better yet, use them intelligently in the gym so that you don't get hurt? Tonight, news at 11. Scott, is it just me or is every other news anchor named Gail?
It seems like a common news anchor name.
It does. It does. Thank you, Gail. Tonight, gym machines you can't afford, not to be able to afford, to afford. In any case, first off, the gym is a very safe place in absolute terms and relative terms. What do I mean by that? In absolute terms, if you take a look at what are the typical risks to humans over the course of their lifetimes, the gym is just not a place where people get hurt very often. People get hurt almost everywhere more than they get to the gym. And then relative wise to other types of physical activity that are health promoting, sport related, pick up basketball, volleyball, beach volleyball, topless beach volleyball, Brazilian topless beach volleyball. Scott, what else we got? Serbian topless and bottomless beach volleyball.
Oh, wow.
That's especially for you, my friend.
It's aggressive.
The Serbians are an aggressive peoples. Hello, Scott. I love you against your will, yes?
That sounds great.
So, yeah, yes. Where are you? All that kind of stuff, dynamic sports, hockey, basketball, even running, almost always have vastly higher risk profiles, injury probabilities than the gym. Why? The gym is a place of near total control of all variables. And the degree of dynamism, how rapidly you're moving, how quickly you're changing direction, how much vertical you get. As soon as you are in a tussle in basketball and there's a rebound opportunity and you jump up to get the ball with other people, the probability that you land weird or hit someone in midair and then land weird and snap your shit up is like low, but notable. In the gym, typically you're not laying up with the leg press or some shit like that. Everything happens slowly and under meticulous control. The gym is one of the safest places in the world, period. And it's all, dude, by the way, Scott, there's a crazy video. I don't know if we can find it for this, but there's a recent video of like like inside the gym, in a gym in Ukraine. And like people are working out and then this huge like artillery shell explodes like real close to the gym and it shakes everything. And a couple of people are like, oh, and then they just go back to lifting. And you're like,
oh my God.
Ukrainians are ballers, dude. I would be screaming and run away forever because I'm a pussy. In any case, the gym is an incredibly safe place. And of all of the ways you could work out, the gym is super, super duper safe. And the thing is, it doesn't look safe because it looks like these monsters in there and the weights are heavy. A lot of people are like kind of fear the gym because they're like, well, I don't know. But it turns out like jogging out in the street is usually as dangerous or more dangerous than lifting in a gym, especially if you know what you're doing. And then it's really safe to go to the gym. So I just want to make that very clear. We're not saying the gym is this crazy dangerous place where your children could be taken anytime, although that is true for the purposes of the thumbnail and title that we have. Most of the risk of the gym is in how you use the equipment and not the equipment itself. So let's talk about first how to use every piece of gym equipment in a way that maximizes safety and minimizes risk. And then we'll talk about the 5 gym machines that are a little bit more dangerous than the others and ways to make sure that you can gel with them. 5 tips on how to stay low risk on all machines and even just with your own body weight and with barbells. Number 1 is have stable technique. Stable technique means that every rep looks just about the same as every other rep. I don't mean identical, but I mean very, very similar. Scott, have you ever seen someone lift before and like you look at one rep and then you look at the other and you're like, is this a superset where they're doing every rep like a different exercise, or what the fuck is going on? All the time, yeah?
All the time.
All the time. That's going to get your ass up because your body, if it knows the stable technique, gets used to the predictable forces, and then it's really, really like built to resist them. But if the forces are radically different every single time, the probability that you move a little bit wrong and pay for it with a joint or connective tissue of some kind starts to escalate. Stable technique is a real good idea. Number 2 tip to stay injury-free, probably on almost every lift, is to control your eccentrics and your rebounds. That means if you take out a bench press and you dump it and try to bounce it off of your sternum as fast as possible, you might be doing some time at the hospital. Probably you'll be okay, but you're rolling the dice. If you just control the eccentric, I don't mean 8 seconds slow. I mean like control, use your muscles to lower the weight, gently pause at the bottom, or even don't pause, but reverse a little bit more under control and then come back up. You're radically reducing your probabilities of injuries every single time. So first, stable technique. Now, stable technique under control. Very good. Point number 3, warm up really well. It doesn't mean take 80 hours to roll out and foam roll your ass, although that seems fun, especially if you turn the foam roller. Well, you guys know the rest. Just doing a light set of whatever you're going to do, very light. Take your, take your 30 rep max and do like a set of 12 with it. Take your 20 rep max after a few minutes, do a set of 8 with it. Take your 10 rep max and do a set of 4 with it after that. And then you're ready to go. You can shorten or lengthen that warm up depending on if it's a big lift with lots of weight or a little lift with a little bit of weight. Just don't do the cold open. Don't do the cold opening is for when you're early into the pickup training of pickup arts and you go to shopping malls to talk to people. Scott, you ever cold open anyone?
Not at a mall, but like at a bar all the time.
My man. Can I cold open you really quick?
Sure.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
I noticed you have like face,
Thanks.
Yeah, man. You want to go have sex now?
You're kind of weird. I'm just here with my friend. I just want to dance.
Ugh, that's the worst. Which is also a lie. You want to dance until Matt Damon comes up and cold opens your dumb ass, and then you want to dance in his hotel room, liar. Ladies, stay calm. The 3.5 of you that follow this channel, stay calm. You want to warm up well. You don't want to come in. Your bench, typically you work with 2 plates on a side. You don't want to like do one of these, kind of move your arms around, get under 2 plates and go. That's going to get your ass torn up. Usually it won't. 1 every 1,000 times it will. And that means after a few years of training in the gym, you're going to get torn up. Don't do it. Warm up. Take your time. Number 4, increase your weights slowly. Another one of these, if I had a penny for every time this happens, bullshit. People will gain competency in, let's say, the bench press with a plate on a side. They'll be able to do sets of 12 reps with a plate. Good technique and everything. For some damn reason, the model that humans have in their head sometimes of how weight progressions work is to go, okay, 135, right? Plate on a side. I'm good with it now. I can do this. Okay. They skip every number and go straight to 185 and 25s on a side. Scott, in the bro logic of the gym, there are only 2 types of weights, 45s and 25s, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe not even 25s though.
Right.
Just 45s.
Like 1 plate, then 2 plates.
Right.
And then, yeah.
Yeah. So like if you've mastered 3 plates on the leg press, you just go to 4 plates the next week.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. You guys, the difference between 3 plates on the leg press and 4 plates on the leg press is just enough force production to get that ass f***ed up. It is just much more weight. So when I say increase weight slowly, I mean get your RP hypertrophy app going and go up by 2.5 to 10 pounds per week per lift. 2.5 pounds if it's a small progression. So if you're doing assisted pull-ups, if you're doing weighted pull-ups, you did 10 pounds this week, 12.5 next week, 15 the week after that, 17.5 the week after. Don't do 10 pounds this week and then be like, yeah, man, just throw a plate on there. Scott, how many injuries do you think have occurred over time at gyms? Sort of like with the last phrase before the injury, let's throw a plate on there, bro.
Jesus.
Like almost all of them, maybe. Just put another wheel on there, brother. That's it. Snap City. So if you're doing leg presses or something, look, if you're leg pressing 400 pounds, maybe next week you do 420. 420, light it up. Then 440, then 460. Don't go 400 and then go 500 and then go 600. People do this all the time. That gets you messed up. Slowly progressing weight. Look, progressing. I'm not saying spend 5 years at 405 mastering technique or whatever. Progress for sure, but 2.5, 5, or 10 pound increments, depending on how big the lift is. The more weight you're lifting, the higher the amount of weight. So relatively, it's going to be like, gee whiz, 2 to 4% weight increase on the bar per week is generally good advice. And you can scale that to whatever weight you want. And another one, number 5, and this is probably the biggest one, is avoid YOLO fudgery. I already swore a few times. I got to bank it. You come in, you're supposed to train biceps. Your buddies are there. That 3 of those cute girls are using the Scott, which one are they using, the good girl machine or the bad girl machine?
They both can kind of go either way, depending on how you want to define it.
Yeah. They're using the adductor and abductor machines, which are directly facing the deadlift platform. And they're doing that one thing that girls do, which gets a lot of males of reproductive age hurt. They're making eye contact and giggling. And your buddies are deadlifting, and you know you are king. You got a crown, the whole thing. You about to get in there. It's supposed to be bicep day. Your back's a little sore still because you did deadlifts yesterday, but the 3 nymphs weren't around yesterday, were they? And your friend's like, hey, man, would you like to demonstrate higher value by becoming the alpha male of our group right here, right now, and get us to praise you? Well, obviously lifting bigger weights than everyone else, so these females of reproductive age can assess your degree of mating status and potentially offer you up some of that sweetness between their legs. Well, gee whiz, mister, that sure does sound pretty good. Oh, boy. You get in there. You don't warm up, you YOLO 5 plates, one of your vertebrae decides it's going to migrate directly to your asshole, and then all of a sudden, you get to swag it out. How do you swag it? When the paramedics come peel your ass up and put you on the fucking stretcher to take you out, you swag in 2 ways. 1, Scott, you ready for this shit? This is deep game here. Okay. 1, sympathy swag. The 3 nymphs are like, oh my God, are you okay? You're like, just don't worry about me. I died doing what I love. And they're like, can I just give you a hand job on the way out? Easy. And the other one is when the paramedics are like, do you have insurance? You're like, of course, I've got Blue Cross Blue Shield, advanced rich guy version. And one of the girls is like a nurse. She knows. She's like, oh my God, you guys, no one has their insurance unless they pay crazy premiums. That guy's the rich. And then actually before you get wheeled out, because you're going to the hospital, you give one of your buddies your keys, right? And Scott, the AMG key, which has the huge AMG logo on it so that everyone knows that you drive the cheapest version of the AMG in Mercedes that they have. You give him that giant key so that the girls see. You feel me? So they know.
They need to know. I used to go to a bar where the guys would put their luxury car keys on the bar top just so people could see they drove whatever. It was a flex.
Is it one of those flexes that just guys are dumb, or does that really work?
It was definitely an intentional flex. Because why would you just put your key on the bar, for no reason? It's just a way to lose it and walk out without it.
It functions the same thing as one of those big face watches, right?
Yeah.
Bitches that know, you feel me? Yeah. So look, what I'm trying to say is YOLO 100% can still get you laid if you play your cards right. Matter of fact, you get sympathy, you get to swag that you have awesome health insurance, you get to swag that you have a great car, you can't drive anymore. When the doctors are the EMTs are trying to pull open your shirt because you got so hurt that you need electrodes, you got to be careful, don't rip it, it's Armani. That's another flex, that's easy. At the same time, you're still hurt. And so bad news is you can't be doing a lot of pumping with those girls. It's going to have to be passive shit because, what I'm saying, it's going to take 6 months of rehab to get you to walk again. Unlikely, but possible. So stable technique, very good technique all the time. Controlling those eccentrics and taking decent rebounds, nothing crazy, no bouncing, no dive bombing, warming up well, increasing your weight slowly and progressively, and avoiding YOLO free. Sorry, I used the whole word. We'll see. Maybe we'll bleep that out. That being said, so that's just going to make every machine way safer, every type of lifting way safer. But some machines are inherently more dangerous than most. This is not an inclusive list. It's not a complete list. This is just me poking in the dark, but I got to poke in some things that I think have some merit. Let's look at this list and explain why. First is the vertical leg press. This machine is quite rare. Hopefully the guys can throw up a picture of this, or maybe have even someone using it video. I don't know if there's videos of anyone using the vertical leg press. We have The Rock, don't we? We have The Rock using the vertical leg press, right, Scott?
Yeah, we do.
There you go. The vertical leg press is specifically more injurious because it literally provides ultra high forces in through your spine in a rounded position. If you're used to that sort of thing, there's nothing wrong with it. The problem is most people aren't used to it, and most people don't think they're even using their back. They think they're using their legs, but their back rounds like crazy and all the forces transduce through there. My best tip for you is just don't use the vertical leg press. Not because if after a while getting used to using it, it's totally safe. It is. The problem is the vertical leg press also sucks total balls because it gives you a tiny range of motion for your quads. Use a 45-degree leg press instead. Get you one of them Arsenal leg presses, the for real leg press. It's going to blast your quads into the moon. The vertical leg press is a dog shit piece of equipment, hands down, and more injurious than it should be. Next, the Smith machine. Why? I thought it was safer. It's not safer. It's not safer than a regular bar, and here's why. The Smith machine can allow you to lift significantly off-center in a way that you can't do with a normal barbell because you would simply fall over. For example, the Smith machine can allow you to push your feet, let's say in a squat, Smith machine squat. You can push your feet so far ahead of yourself with decent amount of weight that you end up tippy-toe unstable squatting it because otherwise you would just like fall back through the machine. That much strain on your knees when you're not used to it can mess you up. And it's something you would never be able to literally do with a regular weight because you would just fall right away. But Smith machine staples you in place and allows you to get really crazy forces in your knees. On the other hand, if you squat in such a way that you didn't step through enough forward into the machine and your feet are too far back, that squat ends up leveraging your back and your hips and your spine a ton. And then it puts way more stress in that area. And it's not like stress in that area is bad. If you're used to doing regular free squats and then you go to the Smith machine, even if you're used to doing good Smith machine squat, but you miscalculate and you step a little bit too far forward or too far back, it's way higher forces than you would ever experience normally on that particular part of your body. And that can be no good. Another one, this one is crazy that most people don't think of it to me, but it's a thing. If you get pinned under a regular bench press, you can't lift anymore. You can shimmy it out, or if you don't have your clips on it, you can just dump the weights off one side, dump off the other, you're good. If you get pinned under a Smith machine, what the hell are you supposed to do about it? I got pinned under a Smith machine once when I was like 16. And it took me like 30 seconds to slide my way out. And I remember, Scott, my t-shirt was hanging down to my knees after that because I had just stretched the whole thing out. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. People think Smith machines are safer for pressing than free weight pressing setups, inclines, or flat bench. And they're not. They're actually more dangerous because it will staple that ass. Where the hell are you going to go? People are like, we'll just rack on the hooks. What if you miss the hooks? Like, we'll just rack on them. You can't. You're not strong enough anymore. Like, it's a really, really bad deal. So how do you solve these problems? How do you still use a Smith machine for benefit? Because it's a great machine. First, make sure you're centered side to side and front to back before you start lifting. I have a Smith machine at home, so I actually mark off with chalk where I put my feet. Can't do that at a commercial gym. Maybe remember, like, gym mats typically have there's lines in between the mats. Be like, okay, I put my feet 3 inches behind the lines. You get your RPI hypertrophy app out. In the Smith machine squats for Monday, second exercise of the day, you pin a note there that says feet 3 inches behind line. You look at it the next Monday and you're like, oh, hell yeah, boom, and it fits perfectly. So make sure to do that. Make sure it's centered side to side so you don't do this crazy asymmetrical loading. Another one, even on the Smith machine, especially on the Smith machine, make sure to have a spotter because somebody's got to drag your dumb ass out of there when you fail. And with a regular bench, you might be able to just get out yourself. With a Smith machine, bad news can happen. So make sure to have a spotter, and that's a big deal. Another machine that we see a little bit more danger with than many others is the hack squat. Why? The hack squat is one of those machines that is way harder at the bottom than at the top. Which means it's really good for hypertrophy. Like, it's optimally angled to make you get really, really gnarly giant quads. Huge tension at the stretch, minimal tension at the top. But if you can't get out of the bottom, you're kind of stuck. And a lot of hack squats go pretty deep. And so if you're stuck there for long enough, I'm not going to get grotesque here, but not so great things can happen. All sorts of really messed up knee injuries, hip injuries, spine injuries, so on and so forth. The solution here is to have a spotter or two for heavy, low RIR sets. You might be able to do most of your sets for the day totally fine on your own, especially if you know what you're doing. But that one set at the end where you're like, I'm really going to push it. I got 8 reps last time. I want 9 reps and it's more weight. Just get 2 relatively competent, relatively jacked looking people to just stand on the sides and be like, hey fellas, if I don't come up, just drag the weight up. Not hard. Also, the good news is spotters for free weights have to be pretty technical and pretty apt because they can like grab the weight asymmetrically and really f things up. If you're in the Smith machine, if you're in a hack squat, it doesn't really matter as long as they pull up on the weight part on the bar, you're going to be good to go. So have a spotter. It's really, really good. It's kind of strange when people ask for spots on machines, but like it's smart because with barbells, like weightlifters, Olympic weightlifters, they don't get spotted on anything because they can always just get out of it. They can throw the bar off or they can throw it back behind them or they can just dump it. In a hack squat, you can't dump. Scott, have you ever seen someone dump a hack squat? How does that even look like? How the hell are you supposed to get out?
Dump yourself out?
Yeah, maybe if you don't manage to get out, then like one of your shoulders gets capped off or something. It's gnarly. So with a hack squat, when push comes to shove, make sure you have a spotter or two. Number 4 is a gym machine you might not see very often. It comes from the world of equipped powerlifting, but it does have its place in hardcore gyms across the country, and sometimes people use it wrong and get into some shit. It's called the Monolift. It's a machine that has these hooks that hang down and hold the bar. And then you unrack the bar. You don't move anywhere. Your buddy hits the lever for the Monolift. The hooks swing out. You do your squats. You come back up. You go, okay, I'm good, rack. And then the hooks swing back in and then you just put the weight down. It's great for squat weights and good morning weights that are so heavy, you don't even want to piss away energy walking them out. The problem with that machine is once the rack swings out, you're on your own. And unracking it can feel really weird if you're used to walking it out. Just standing there and you're like, oh shit. And if you want to walk it back in, once you put the bar back in, the hooks a lot of times will shake and sometimes the weight will pop back out of it. So if you're not used to using a Monolift, don't just go in there and use it. Just be like, oh, it's fine. It's just like any other piece of equipment. Have some respect because a Monolift can put you into the ground. There are solutions to this. A lot of really good Monolifts nowadays will have chains or belts that catch the weight. So if you have to dump, it's possible to dump, or if you just sit down, the weights will catch, no problem. Another thing is almost every time that you use a Monolift, you need at least 2, possibly 3 technical spotters that are competitive powerlifters, have been around a long time, they know how to spot the Monolift. Because the amount of weight you can lift out of a mono is really high, the amount of things that can go wrong is really impressive, and so you want spotters and supportive chains or supportive belts to make sure that if you do go south, things happen. Learning how to use a Monolift properly from really good powerlifters before going heavy and hard on it is a really, really good idea. It's one of those things that you need probably to be associated with a lifting crew for and not just do by yourself. Lastly, I'm going to get some shit for this, but this is a true fact. The 5th machine on our list and the last one for machines that are a bit more dangerous in the gym is the power rack. That's right. Regular old power rack, squat rack, whatever you like to call it. Why? Doing barbell lifts in a rack deadlifts, squats, so on and so forth, can let you put a lot of force into a ton of weight, even if you don't really know what you're doing. And the rack can't track the weight for you. So you can get real off center and do some real gnarly stuff. The thing with a chest press machine is there's really kind of only one way to do it. The machine does the whole arc for you. But with a rack, you take that weight out, you walk out the squat and it's just all you, and you can really mess up if you don't have good technique. So the solution to using the squat rack effectively is to know your technique well and have a spotter or spotters when needed. And then the rack is perfectly safe. But the rack isn't super safe for many people because people are not interested in good technique and they're interested in impressing themselves and others by using a lot of weight. The power racks where you do that, and it just happens to be a place where people don't know technique, they don't care, they use a lot of weight, and they get hurt. There's something especially about the rack. It's just kind of like, it's like flies to shit. It's a place where you are unrestricted to move and you can put a lot of weight on the bar. You're going to bet people are getting hurt in there. So if you know good technique and you use it and you have a spotter, the rack is perfectly safe. But those are two things that are very, very important. All right. Final insights here. To be totally honest, you can use all of these machines and all the machines in the gym very safely. And you can get hurt in like 500 different ways in the gym and like a trillion different ways outside of the gym. So none of this is meant as a scare tactic. Staying very low in your probability of injury comes down to not ramping up your load super fast, warming up, having good, stable control technique, and not doing anything stupid that you know while you're doing it or just before you're doing it, that you're just doing it to show off and it'll probably get you hurt. This does not mean that you won't get hurt. If you're pushing it hard, you will inevitably get hurt every now and again. It's just going to happen. But if you do all the good stuff I'm talking about, not only is your probability of injury going to go down, so over the 25 years that you lift weights, or the 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 years that you lift weights, hopefully a lifetime, you might experience 5 pretty decent injuries versus like 50 if you do this right. And the magnitude of the injuries can fall substantially. It's a difference between tweaking your pec a little bit and taking 2 weeks off, working back up over 4 and being totally fine, versus having a total avulsion of your pec and never looking or feeling the same again. So if you use good technique, if you use good load progressions, you'll still get pings and dings every now and again, but it will almost certainly not be nearly as bad of injuries as you would get if you were doing real dumb stuff. Don't do dumb stuff. Go in the link, download the RP Hypertrophy app. If you really need a lot of coaching and help, we also have the RP coaching, super elite. Some of the world's best PhD athlete coaches will get your back. That link in the description as well. Give that a look. Coaches will do video calls with you. They'll guide you through everything. And it's really super dope. Yeah, go out there and don't get hurt. But if there are 3 giggly nymphs, you got to do what you got to do, fellas. Peace.